This morning, President Trump is marking 6 months in office, saying that the United States is the hottest and most respected country in the world, and now that he is back in the White House. The 6-month mark comes just as new CNN polling shows that there is growing dissatisfaction on the central issue he campaigned on, immigration. In the latest survey, 55% say that the president has gone too far when it comes to deporting immigrants living in the United States illegally. That's up 10 points since February. Joining me right now, CNN political commentator Bakari and Republican strategist Doug Heye. Thanks for being here, guys. Doug, wins and losses in this first 6 months. How do you measure it, and what do you see here for President Trump?
Well, first, I start with the fact that Donald Trump's polling numbers on his personal approval are pretty static. You know, people have made up their minds a long time ago on what they think on Donald Trump. Republicans tend to really love him. Democrats tend to really not. So I start there. Then I look at what he's done legislatively. And presidents usually get their first big ticket item through. So the one big beautiful bill was probably always going to pass, despite the short margins that they have in both the House and the Senate. It just means he's had to work a lot harder at it. He's got wins that he can claim, especially wins that are important to his base. Good example, PBS and NPR is something conservatives were targeting for decades, and Trump can say, I'm the one who got it through. His challenge is he's not really been able to talk about it all that much because things like the Epstein memos and documents keep coming up and won't go away.
And also the reaction to the American public so far, Bakari, to those big wins, if you will, for the president. The CNN polling is that Americans largely oppose the administration's scaling up of the deportation program. CBS showed something similar, that most Americans think that they're deporting more people than they thought the administration would. And then on the big beautiful bill, 6 in 10 in the CBS poll disapprove of that legislation, which is why one can honestly wonder, why then is the CNN polling show that the Americans' view of the Democratic Party is so dismal, this lowest mark for Democrats in the history of CNN polling?
Yeah, I think that the election of Donald Trump has proven that Americans have very, very short memories. And what I mean by that is Americans are finally realizing what Donald Trump truly meant, what he's about. And those legislative achievements, look at the one big beautiful bill, which I hate grown men and women actually referring to it as such. But there were 11 million people kicked off Medicaid. That is a campaign promise broken. He promised to end all the wars around the world, where the world is still on fire. Just last week, Israel fired missiles into Damascus. We're still seeing Ukraine and Russia rage on. We're still seeing and don't have a ceasefire yet with Israel and Iran. I mean, so those promises have been broken. And then you have an administration that's clouded by the Epstein files, and then you go back to that same old sheet of music that he's going to deport Rosie O'Donnell and that he's going to put Barack Obama in prison, although he is the president who got the Supreme Court to say that presidents are immune for their behavior while they're in the White House. And so it's just, there are two things that the American public like, and this is why Democrats and Republicans both are sucking right now. That is, they want competency and consistency. Donald Trump has proven to be incompetent and lack consistency, and Democrats don't have a competent or consistent message. And so right now, I think most Americans are like the hell with both parties.
Yeah, let's see. And they've got a lot of time to figure it out. Just look at, now you've got this move happening in Texas, this special session for the Texas Republicans basically rewriting the maps in a very rare move, not doing it around the census. And you have Beto O'Rourke now, Doug, saying that Democrats need to, the way he's putting it is fight fire with fire, saying essentially Democratic-led states need to do the same. They need to go hard. Even if it is partisan gerrymandering, they need to take part in it and just go at it to get power back no matter what. The chair of the DCCC was on with me last hour, and she said she's making the case that this move by Texas will backfire because, as she puts it, it's putting in Republican incumbents at risk. They're going to create districts where Republicans are going to be vulnerable. We'll be competing in those districts everywhere. Do you see that, Doug?
I think it's a possibility, but I'll tell you, I had to Google the name Beto O'Rourke. I hadn't heard it in a long time, and then I remembered he was the Texas politician whose base was in Brooklyn, not in Brownsville, which is why he's not in the Senate, hasn't been successful in his runs. And, you know, fight fire with fire, we hear talk of that politically all the time. And this issue of redistricting, it's sort of like the new court packing. And if you want to add 4 more Supreme Court justices, well, then I can add 4 more Supreme
Yes, actually,
Supreme
you're
Court
right.
justices. And on we go, and it's like a nuclear arms race. So Texas can do this, absolutely. Then we could see California do the same thing for the Democrats. But gerrymandering and redistricting is nothing new. The second internship I ever did in Washington was at the RNC, where we filed a Supreme Court case against Democratic gerrymandering in North Carolina, where the district lines were drawn on which side of the street you were on to favor Democrats. This has been going on not for 20 years, for well over 100 years, and gerrymandering is named after a Democrat.
You get to tell me what your second internship was now, Bakari. No, but Susan Dilbene, I will say, I pushed her on this, and she suggested that she and the D-Trip are not opposed to going about this and doing it very publicly and openly and kind of leaning into this. Well, if you're going to do it, we're going to have to do it as well. She says just talk to the governors across the country. If Republicans go down this path, we'll do it. And she said, be careful what they ask for. I mean, do you see this as the right move to respond to Republicans?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to. I don't believe in unilateral disarmament, but I think even Doug would agree with me that redistricting and gerrymandering is probably the least sexy but most important political issue of our lifetime. Usually you have the Republican Party making this unholy alliance with the Congressional Black Caucus, and the CBC members will get many black votes from these competitive districts, and GOP members will be able to expand and grow, and we've seen that throughout the pendency and history of time. What I would say, though, is that the Republicans actually show the American public what can be done when they have power. And usually Democrats, look at Kathy Hochul and the New York Democrats, that said, no, we're not going to do this. Instead of figuring out a way to compete or fight back, Democrats always look for a way to say no. What Governor Abbott and everybody else are doing is saying, look, we're going to test the bounds of power. And if Gavin Newsom wants to do it in response, so be it. But, you know, I've always said, and I hope Doug would agree with me, that we need to have nonpartisan public boards that do this redistricting and redistricting and gerrymandering, because we don't need to allow public officials to do it, because the one thing they want to do is save their own asses.
I think we can all agree that that's saving one's own ass seems to be quite popular in Washington all the time. It's good to see you both. Thank you.